All land trusts are environmental charities that work to protect the natural heritage, the plants, the animals, the special natural features and functions like wetlands for future generations, and we do that from Haliburton County.
The Land Trust owns 5 properties currently. 2 of them are open to the public with trail systems running through, and those are Barnum Creek Nature Reserve, where we are right now, and the Dahl Forest as well, which is a little bit south of here. And both of these properties have trail systems that are accessible to the public all through the seasons.
When I moved to Haliburton, I noticed that there aren't a lot of public places to walk. There's a lot of large private properties here, but there's very few properties that people from the public can go and enjoy. It's a very peaceful place here. It's very relaxing to be able to come out and have that time in nature. Even though we live in rural Ontario, even though we live in cottage country, the public doesn't always have access to properties like this.
As we're seeing more and more people moving up to Haliburton County and wanting to develop and build homes, and we need to preserve some of these lands for species at risk, and to give people places to be outdoors and go for hikes and walks and enjoy nature.
To me, it's just the personal satisfaction of knowing that the property will be kept as a natural reserve forever.
I think it's important to have spots to exercise and engage in. I think there's 2 parts. One is the physical aspect and the other is the mental health aspect. The physical aspect is getting out on trails. Also, when you're moving through the forest, you're going to be going up and down and using different muscle groups. You're going to be ventilating your lungs. You're going to be working a little bit hard. And from a mental health standpoint, I think just getting out of town, even though we live in rural areas, getting out in the woods definitely has a spiritual aspect to it.
The Land Trust feels it's very important to provide opportunities for people to connect with nature, because if you don't love nature, you're not going to want to protect it.
That's part of our mandate, is try to involve the public in the county and beyond and engage them in connecting more with nature here in Haliburton.
So the Discovery Day is an opportunity for people to come out and learn about nature. I've been on early morning birdwatching Discovery Day walk. I've done one where we've gone to see wild mushrooms, come in the spring and got to see the leeks growing and learned how to sustainably harvest the leeks. We don't want them to harvest them on the Land Trust property, but you learn a lot about nature and discover what's in our backyard.
Our very first BioBlitz was held here in 2017. Scientists and naturalists and just general enthusiasts, you come to a property like this, and in a 24-hour span, you get out there and try to identify as many different things as you possibly can to give you a sense of what sort of animals and plants utilize this property.
This summer, we had several volunteers and we monitored for bats. Our volunteers had an opportunity to use devices that recorded the bats' sonar waves. So that's exciting. It gives us more information about what bats are on the property, and it can help in terms of our conservation planning and goals for the property.
It's also important to us to involve students as much as we can and kind of try to foster that younger generation and get young researchers out here working on various research projects. And we've partnered really regularly with ULinks, which is a community-based research, is what they're involved with. And we've had many ULinks projects over the years. So students have done research. They've also come out to the properties to do field work as well.
Aside from government grants, we are totally reliant on our members and our donors. So it really is a grassroots organization, and we're very fortunate to have the support of the community.
There's so much that happens here because of volunteers, and it's amazing the quality of volunteers. There's some really good people on this board, I know, who are very dedicated.
Volunteering is great because it's rewarding to yourself. You always say you're giving, but it's what you get back. It really makes you feel connected to the community.
One of the things that made me want to get involved with the Land Trust was that they have a very specific mandate in terms of education and research and protecting important ecological lands.
My family donated the 500-acre Doll Forest to the Haliburton Highlands Land Trust in 2009. I more or less grew up here as a kid, and we planted trees, about 100,000 trees altogether. I feel that it should be left the way it is, as a nature preserve for all time. That's the reason we made the gift, and it needs to be available to the general public as a place to walk and appreciate nature.
It is so important to have areas like this preserved, not just for today, but for future generations. They say God doesn't make any more land, and so properties like this, it's really priceless.
We feel like you can't really just put a box around nature and put walls around it. You need to invite people in and allow people the chance to connect with nature, to learn more about it, and it's making those connections that inspires people to want to conserve nature.
I think everybody should take some time and get out in nature and come and enjoy the trails at either Barnum Creek Nature Reserve or Doll Forest. You won't be sorry.